the sun. Caught me in the sun, listening to a bit of a ska this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in yet again. If you're on this channel, you know we go through the radio bands, usually shortwave a lot, because that's where a lot of the interesting things are. It's a bit sunny, so I'm going to give it half an hour and see what comes up, because a lot of the operators are probably not operating at the moment because they're enjoying the sun like me. and shortwave in general, especially the bands that we look at, like the 49 meter band, doesn't generally like the sun. So I've had a look around. If we give it another half an hour, things might be coming through a little bit better. So I thought before I did that, we'd look at some of my old sets. So I've had this for a while. I bought this in a car boot sale for £3 in Wasdale in West Cumbria. I was working away for the YHA for Colin, and I had a little bedroom, and I bought this for £3 and it was great because then I used to buy records from car boot sales and play them on here, and it was good. It was good when I had time off. I used to sit there and listen to the stuff that I bought off the charity shops, and I got some gems and some cheesy classics. I'm quite wide to what I listen to. So as you can see, a bit of ska and like a bit of all sorts of stuff. And it's quite an interesting set. I think this is late 80s because it's boxy. It's late 80s, but Panasonic weren't always ahead with the trends and stuff like that. So it could be early 90s, but I think late 80s because it's boxy. Because this one, the Sonic one here, and this will turn up in another video. Sony one, this is early 90s, as you can see, it's got all the round stuff. So that's a Panasonic SG G55L. That's what that is. So it's got its cassette player. It's got a lot of faults. The FM works on it, the medium wave and long wave don't. It's got a knob missing, and the final thing that you convert it from medium wave, not from medium wave, I'm on about from 33 to 45 is a bit dodgy. So it's got loads of faults. But it'd be nice to find this a new home. So if anyone fancies having a do at it, give me a shout. And I actually think it needs a new belt as well. They're a bit complicated to do the belts on these kind of things. But yeah, this must have cost quite a bit at the time. But yeah, late 80s I should think that is. And that's definitely early 90s. And this will come in another video I'm going to do. Because when we used to do, as a kid, 17, I used to do pirate radio and stuff like that. We used to monitor the radio stations with the station manager, Dennis Jack Royale, and we used to walk around Macclesfield with one of these, seeing what the signal was like. So I've got good memories about these sets. I don't know what makes these out. What model is? Oh, it says the model at the bottom. GF521IL, or is it 201L? I don't know. But we kind of liked that set as well because it had not only did it have FM on, which our radio station was on, it had shortwave, medium wave, and long wave on. And shortwave on these things, when they're squeezed up, it's really hard to find the stations because shortwave's squeezed into a small tuning cycle, so it's really hard. We might actually do that in a bit. But the nice thing about this is once you find your station, it's got a fine tune on it, which only works on shortwave, so you could fine tune it. So that was quite unique to this set. So I thought I've got all my records down there because it's blazing sunshine. I don't want to get them all warped, so I'll put Don in. And we'll get another record and let's see what we pull out. Oh, excuse me a minute. Haha. Well, this was something I was talking about at work with a guy I work with called Luke. and it's quite interesting. This is actually volume 1, and if you're as old as me, you'll remember the Stars on 45. Now, years ago, all the different record companies couldn't agree to put all their tunes on the same album. Alright, eventually it happened in the early 80s, and you ended up with Now albums. So EMI, Universal, whoever put all their best stuff. I think it was about 3 months after they were in the charts, they would put it on one album, and you buy them. And they were quite expensive, even at that time. They were about 15 quid. So they were pretty thingy. But before that, you had companies that used to do cover versions. So you could do cover versions, and you could get away with it basically. So CBS used to have Stars on 45. So all the stuff on here, where I play a little bit of it, is they're not named the actual artists, but it's like a mix of what. It's a mix of really popular tunes. So the Stars on 45 were played at every party for years and years. So take you for a trip down memory lane, you're gonna have that bump, clap, but yeah. If you remember, you remember. So I'll just put it on. Yeah, there you go. So that's a copy of Funky Town. Who did Funky Town? I can't remember. And it goes into another tune now, which I think, from memory, is Video Killed the Radio Star. Am I right? Oh no, it's wrong. I'm sure. There you go. Told you it was. So it's going into Buggles. Video Killed the Radio Star. So the only way that they could do it is by doing cover versions and not using the original artists. Should we stick around and see what the next one is? Go on. I think it's Venus, if my head's right. If I remember, I'm going back years now. Sugar next, honey. Sugar. I remember it all too well. Get it off, get it off. So yeah, that was Stars on 45. Was it late 70s? Definitely early 80s. And they used to do remixes of popular tunes. Before that, Hallmark. And Hallmark were a bit different because they used to do what was actually in the charts at the time. So musicians used to rush out, and whatever had been in the top 40, they record it really fast and try and get the album out really fast. So these albums used to come out 3 months after the tracks had come. So they'd have to record them, do the artwork, press it. It was pressed. It was Hallmark, Pickwick. So it was all done abroad. So they used to have to press them, and there was hundreds of thousands that were sold of these. But everyone doesn't remember them for their fantastic recordings. Everyone remembers them for their fantastic artwork. So yeah, we'll have a little look at this one. So this is not a remix thing. They just used to do a cover, and it's covered in dust. which is just do a straight off cover of what was in the chart. So top pops volume at 71. So which one is it? So yeah, they did sound bad. We'll just have a bit of this because I think I'll have enough. But I don't know what that one was. Hang on, so let's see. Let's find a tune that one now. Oh, we'll know this one. Bit of Walk on the Wild Side. And what's the track after? Before. So they must have been in the charts at the same time. You are the sunshine of my life. So yeah, that's what they used to do before we had Now albums. Just thought I'd take you for a trip down a memory lane. I doubt many of these records are now played, but a lot of them are at bar walls or people's used for retro respect and are on there. We should have it there. No, I think it'd drive me mad. I think so. Maybe not. Put it down in the pile there. So we'll have a look around the radio. Any radio news this week? We were talking about Donald Trump cancelling a lot of the funding for international broadcasting, like the Voice of America. Voice of America is still up in the air, but he used to fund things like Radio Free Europe and Radio Liberty, which is in Europe. So basically, that's kind of broadcasting to Russia and the countries around it, broadcasting alternative to what Russia is telling people, basically. So he's put the funding back in for that. So some of the transmitters will get turned on again, because the transmitters haven't been manned. It takes a while to get them re-geared up again, because some of them are like 1960s and they need a lot of maintenance. So we've got a few things coming back on shortwave after that, but we don't know about the Voice of America yet. Not that I've heard, but I'm sure if the Voice of America comes back, which makes sense in some areas, it will be in his eyes, not the eyes. Then it wouldn't sound the same. Be in his eyes, I think. That's all I can actually think about. Radio-wise, we haven't lost any more medium wave or AM stations in the UK. I think we've lost one in Czechoslovakia on medium wave, on 639, which I couldn't get. But yeah, we haven't lost anything on medium wave in the UK, which is good. Let's have a look at what's on shortwave. As I say, it's high sun, so how the signals will be. Actually, the signals are actually better than I thought they were. So see, we seem to be getting a lot of background noise today. If I went onto the seaside, you see sometimes I go to seaside, and that gets rid of all the background noise. But in the city, at the moment, we're getting a lot of background noise. But Radio Europe on 6130. It's coming through okay. Let's have a check at Radio Mi Amigo. They seem to be getting garbled by background interference, unfortunately. That's where shortwave radio or shortwave gold is, 6160. It's just about there, but we're getting so much background noise today. So the biggest signal we're getting is a good old Jack Weekend Music Radio Scotland. And if you've only just bought a shortwave radio, at the weekend Saturday and Sunday, if you're in the north of England, Weekend Music Radio Scotland on 6325 is a good one to actually try. I've got a bit of an external aerial on it, a wire, but even with your antenna you can pick it up quite well in the northwest of England. So he's coming really well. See?
There we go, some recordings of Radio Liberty from London on 92.5 FM.
Yeah, so yeah, he always comes through really well in the northwest of England where we are. Anyway, so he's there quite well. Let's try someone else that's usually on Sunday. Is it the Pipe Sender? Pipe Sender, have I got it right? Radio on 7405. Wow, look at that signal. That's a really good signal, that is. So it's not as dramatic as I thought it would be. Sometimes in dramatic sun they all just disappear dramatically, like last year. But that's because we were getting certain different weather effects. We weren't getting many. There was the Northern Lights, the stuff that happened above there that I don't know much about. That kind of just actually wiped shortwave for days and days at one point, because shortwave gets affected by what goes on in the ionosphere. So this year's actually better than last year in the sunshine. If I sat here this time last year, it would have been dead. So yeah, Pipe Sender's coming through really well. Bit of metal. Let's see, he wasn't on earlier on, but let's see if Radio Delta's on 9800. Radio Delta doesn't seem to be there. I don't know if he's not I don't think he's broadcasting. But usually he's a good signal on 9800. So someone said point all these frequencies out to me, so I'm pointing all the frequencies out. The best time to catch all these people, because they don't actually broadcast 24 hours a day, some of them, is try a Saturday and Sunday, then look at their websites and they'll tell you the times. But the best time, Sunday's a really good time to have a really look around to see what's up. But yeah, Saturday and especially Sunday, these frequencies I'm pointing out to you, give them a try. Right, let's go back to. Weekend Music Radio, is that a Radio Veronica tune?
The best damn station in the world.
Wir sind einfach überall zu hören. Von York bis New York, von Wiesbaden bis Vladivostok, von Madrid bis Moskau. Hier ist Weekend Music Radio aus Schottland.
Plays this tune because obviously it's from Scotland at the beginning of the programme, and it's a 2-hour loop on 6325, and he basically gives he does radio memory, so you never really miss a programme. If the reception's bad, try 4 hours later and the reception might be better. You can get the same programme, so like a 2-hour loop.
Chianti, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Weekend Music Radio. Signing off.
Okay, maybe Music Radio, Sanya. I'll have a quick flick around and see if we get anything else. We've had things turning up on 6400 recently, but I can't see anything now. No, it's pretty quiet. Anything I catch later on, because some people just come on for an hour and then disappear. Anything I catch on later, I might put on shorts. I don't know what that is on 6150. I keep trying to try and monitor it, but I keep forgetting because that comes in quite well sometimes. Yeah, Mi Amigo's still not coming through. Let's have a look. Down 5,900. And this is great in the day, but not in the night. Radio Veronica. Comes from the original pirate radio ship Radio Veronica in the Netherlands. They've got an FM license, but they also, strangely, broadcast on shortwave as well. And they're really good on 5955 in the day.
Is het nu echt tijd voor een upgrade van je auto? Zeker als je beseft dat je alweer je tank moet volgooien. Dus ga naar Marktplaats en upgrade je auto naar een zuiniger model. Want met het aanbod van ruim 7.
So yeah, Radio Veronica's on 7 days a week anyway. So if you're kind of looking for stuff and you've got a new radio, type in 5955 on your shortwave and you should get Radio Veronica. Just have a look. There's always someone which is on 5800 and shortwave on a Sunday. And it's from the Netherlands, so at the moment this will blast it in about an hour's time. You can just about hear it at the moment. And he'll be here. Give it an hour's time and that'll be really, really blasting. Tune into that later on. What else should we do before we go? What else should we talk about before we go? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It's getting windy now, so yeah, something coming through the bay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick, I keep doing this, I didn't used to do this, take my external aerial. Now everyone asks what kind of aerial you use. It's actually fallen down actually, which is, no it hasn't, no, it's cool. And what kind of wire you use, I basically put a long wire into the shortwave antennae and basically drape it over the best place where I don't get lots of interference. It's nothing technical. If you look online, people will tell you how to build the best shortwave radio, but it does make a difference putting a long wire into your shortwave radio, and I'll show you this. This is how much difference this makes. So let's go back to here. Let's go back to Weekend Music Radio. It's quite strong, and this is how much difference it makes. So he's quite strong here. So that's how he comes out on my normal telescopic. Which is actually quite good. And if I was on the beach, the normal, because we're not getting as much interference in the background. That would be fine on the telescopic. But here, because we put a lot of reception, a long wire aerial. So I've got my long wire aerial there. I've got my little plug. I'm going to plug it in the back. Makes a hell of a lot of difference. I'll show you how much difference it makes. But yes, there you go.
Starting off for using now on WMR today. Starts off with this one, for good old Bill.
So it's made a hell of a lot of difference, and that's just draped over my back of my fence in the back of the yard. So it's nothing complicated. So everyone was like, "Oh, how do you make an aerial?" As long as you've got in these things, it's just like a little. As you see, it's like a little monophono thing that. Yeah, it's a little mono jack. As long as you've got one of those to fit in there. You go in. So, and basically, I've just twisted lots of wire together to make a longer aerial. It's that simple. And sometimes, actually, on the beach, I actually take one with me and drape it up a tree. And then we go to the other one when we're getting really well. This was pipe sender as well. Now he's coming in really well. If I use it on the external aerial, this is how much difference it makes. It'll still come through quite well. It's still coming through quite well, but not as well as before. Let's try radio. If we go Radio Europe, which is on 6130. That's it without a wire, which we can get it, but with a wire, magical wire. So, and I always say this to people because everyone's like, what aerial should I use and stuff. It's a bit of a trial and error in basically urban places. Getting your wire to the place where you're not catching as much interference. If I put it on the back fence here, I do better. If I put it parallel to the house, I get lots of interference. And I think it's kind of picking it up from the broadband cable underneath the ground, I think. So yeah, let's do Radio Europe with, you see, with the aerial. Dramatic difference. So yes, well that was our little tune around for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Shall I leave you a vinyl? This is just a random pick because I've just picked a bundle of stuff out of my thing. We've got a wasp. Hang on. I just picked a bundle of records out of my room, so I don't know what this is. Well, I know what it is now, but actually, it's not a bad one to finish on. So, hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. That's mostly. No, it's gratefully appreciated. So we'll leave you with the last tune of the day.